show, hey, of the tragedy of Hamlet, the, as it were, Princess of Denmark. I'm also the set designer and set construction, so I need to go help them. Rusty, you're not doing anything. Take over the direction.
I'm not the director.
No, up that way, guys.
Hi,
The back.
everybody. My name is Krista Carbaugh, and I'm playing Horatio tonight. And I guess I'm the impromptu director, speech giver.
That's why I'm back here not doing that. It's doing great.
Okay. We're a non-profit 50C R2D2 5CP0. It's in the script that I don't know it. 5CP.
A 501c3 is a non-profit organization under the U.S. into the Internal Revenue Code for the United States under Section 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code.
Thanks, Jamie. Anyway, we're an all-volunteer theater troupe whose mission is to travel all around the area, bringing the works of William Shakespeare to the community for free. But we do have some production costs, and as you can see, if you have a program, we don't have any corporate sponsorship. So if you feel so inclined, towards the end of the show, or even now, better yet, whenever, William Shakespeare's face is on that table over there, and there's a hole cut in his mouth so that you can put money in if you feel so inclined. Thanks for coming, and Mark!
Yes!
I'm done.
We're not. Dan, go, finish. Go take.
You're the director!
Well, I got a straw in my hand. This is Dan Schuster. He's playing Claudius tonight. He's also, yay, he's an actor. He's also a member of the board of directors of the Wichita Shakespeare Company. Has directed more shows than anybody combined. So, Dan, go talk to the people.
What do you want me to say, Mark?
I don't know. Talk about the history of the company. You've been here since the beginning.
Okay, yes, I can do that. As we were talking about our 2016 season, we realized that Hamlet is the 25th different Shakespeare play we have produced. Speaking of 2016, in June we're going to be bringing A Midsummer Night's Dream to you guys. It'll be the third time we've done that show. And then in September we'll be bringing Ophelia to you. It will be the second time we've brought Ophelia. It's interesting though, our very first play that we did in 1999, I do have a list here guys of all of the plays, so I'm going to get it out here so we can go through it. In 1999 we actually did Midsummer Night's Dream. It was our very first show.
I love that show! If we shadows have offended, think but this and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here while these visions did appear, and this weak and idle theme no more yielding but a dream.
Nice.
All right, good, Krista. Okay, moving on. In 2000, we did Much Ado About Nothing.
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, if you were to write me down an ass. But masters, remember not that I am an ass.
Okay.
A quote off, give me one.
Okay, Rusty, let's see here on the list. Okay, from 2006, we did Twelfth Night. Let's hear a quote.
Better a witty fool than a foolish wit.
Okay.
Ooh, my turn, my turn.
Oh, good grief. Okay, Jamie. Let's see. Okay, a hard one for you, Miss Jamie. 2005, All's Well That Ends Well. Go.
Tricky, Dan Schuster, tricky. Love all, trust a few, do wrong to no one.
Oh, very good.
So sweet.
Okay. Chelsey.
Yes.
Okay, I'll go a little easier on you, Chelsey, since you have a lot to do tonight. Okay, 2002 and also just this last June, As You Like It.
Okay. Oh, the world, the stage, and all
whoa,
of it.
Stop.
You had that space.
This is Chelsey Moore. She's playing Hamlet tonight, and she's got a lot of lines. So go back and work on it. Go get your melancholy on, or whatever you're doing.
Okay, moving on. Mark,
Dan, I need you to do the lights.
Okay, yeah. Hey,
Hey,
Rusty, take over the list.
I mean, apparently I'm the director, so I can give this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You made me the director when you gave me your speech. Okay. Next we did Love's Labor's Lost.
Oh, from women's eyes these doctrines I derive. They sparkle still the ripe Promethean fire. They are the books, the arts, the academes that show, contain, and nourish all the world. Thank you.
Get back to work.
What's next?
Taming of the Shrew.
Kiss me, Kate! Ah! That's about right.
The Merry Wives of Windsor.
Windsor certainly is lovely this time of year.
I know, right? I love it here. Okay. We have Two Gentlemen of Verona.
You're from Verona. I am from Verona. It is a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Good one.
Not a line, but The Comedy of Errors.
Up on your position.
Oh yeah.
Lights you got in your eyes.
We are identical twins, separated at birth.
So are we.
Comedy!
Okay, you guys, it's getting a little ridiculous. Give me that
Well,
list.
fine. We were done anyway.
Excuse me, we were not done. We have left off some of the Wichita Shakespeare Company's most popular productions, guys. Some of them I've directed here because I'm known for the popular ones, folks. So let's get a quote from the Two Noble Kinsmen, everybody. The Two Noble Kinsmen.
Brother!
Wrong.
Wrong. They were cousins, John. Get it right. Okay.
That was very noble.
Yes. Moving on. Measure for measure, anybody. Measure for measure.
Proud man, dressed in a little brief authority, most ignorant of what he's most assured. His glassy essence, like an angry ape, plays such fantastic tricks before high heaven as makes the angels weep.
Very nice, Danette. Measure for measure, folks. Measure for measure. Okay, Cymbeline, guys. Somebody's got to know something from Cymbeline, right? We've done it twice. Not tambourine, Cymbeline, guys. Come on, we've done this play twice. Okay. Okay, moving on. King John, guys. We did King John last year.
You don't quote for that. Do it.
Well, he didn't remember.
Moving on. Okay.
He once had a book like this.
Troilus and Cressida, guys. You got to have Troilus and Cressida. Some quote.
Togas.
Togas. All right. Togas. Ben. Togas. Right? Yes. Okay, guys. Now this is really serious because this is my all-time favorite Shakespeare play. It's the best one ever written. Winter's Tale, folks. Winter's Tale.
John's got it.
All right. Huh? I'm actually being pursued by a bear.
You know, guys, he's technically correct about that one. Read the play, you'll understand. Okay, guys, some more popular plays on the way here. Pericles, guys, Pericles.
Zero to hero. Just like that. Zero to hero.
Not Hercules, guys, Pericles. It's not a Disney movie. Get it right. Okay. Coriolanus, guys, Coriolanus. Somebody's got to have some Coriolanus for us. Coriolanus.
That's right.
Mark, give us some Coriolanus, please.
You common cry of curds, whose breath I hate as the reek of rotten fens, whose loves I prize as the dead carcasses of unburied men that do corrupt my air. I banish you. Thank you very much.
Very nice. Okay, guys, so moving on the list here, most of what we've talked about tonight so far, except for King John and Coriolanus so far, have all been comedies, but we've also done some of his tragedies, which are really known for their wonderful language. So, Danette, let's hear some Scottish play.
Macbeth.
Damned spot out, I say. 1, 2. Why then 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie! A soldier and a feared? What need we fear, who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him?
Very nice. Okay, Danzel, how about some Julius Caesar?
Hope you know that.
Pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man. Woman!
Sorry.
That ever lived
Wrong
at the
gender.
tide of times.
Sorry.
Very nice, very nice.
I should have known better. You're right.
The Tempest!
Ah, we are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little lives are rounded in a sleep.
Very nice. Othello!
Ah, beware, O lord of jealousy. It is the green-eyed monster that doth mock the meat it feeds on.
Lear!
Ah! Blow winds and
attempt to face.
You gotta pick
We can only handle so much wind in this show.
Yes, right. Okay, you see, guys, we can take this serious, right? Okay. Okay, well, if you guys promise to be good, I do have one more, but can you guys take this serious, please? Okay, guys, this is a tragedy, so take it serious. Romeo and Juliet, let's hear some quotes, please.
I'm gonna do that one.
Okay. A rose by any other word would smell as sweet.
Love is a smoke made with the fumes of sighs.
Oh, nice.
My only love sprung from my only hate.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir, but not at you, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir.
Okay, guys, that's enough. I thought I said serious, folks. Serious. Okay.
Seriously.
Well, guys, that was every single Shakespeare play the Wichita Shakespeare Company has produced.
That was 24.
24.
That was 24. We have 25.
What's the 25th one?
Hamlet.
Isn't that Christy's one?
Oh. So, Christy, you have anything for us? By the way, this is Christy Campbell, our stage manager tonight.
She's going to hand out the costumes.
Are we got ready, Mark?
Here. Yes.
All right.
Dan
Yes.
playing Claudius.
Claudius.
Danette plays Gertrude and the ghost. Rusty, Horatio.
Leather jacket.
We have Ophelia, Krista playing Ophelia, and an attendant. Yes, we only have 8 actors and actresses to play all the parts in Hamlet, so there is some doubling. And some people, Polonius, Jaime, comes back to life with zombie actors. John is playing Guildenstern and Laertes and a player, and that leaves Danzel, who has Bernardo, and a player, and Rosencrantz, and Gravedigger, and Osric, and we're just going to take this backstage. Well, you don't need to take all these. We're going to send this back. Yeah. I think the lights are good-ish. We'll find out here in a few minutes. Thank you for coming out to the park. We've got tomorrow we'll be in Derby, and the Sunday we'll be at the Scottish Rite indoors. So if you know anybody wants to come out and see that. Again, the donations are at that little table over there. So if at any time during the show you see something amazing, go, I've got to give them some money. Just go right ahead and do that. We're getting started now. We have Bernardo standing watch. Gates of Elsinore. It's dark.
Long live the king!
I love the king.
It's now struck 12. It's bitter cold, and I am sick at heart. Not a mouse stirring. Stand low, who's there?
Friends to this ground. Hello, Bernardo.
And what is Horatio there?
A piece of earth.
Welcome, Horatio.
But has this thing appeared again tonight?
You say 'tis but my fantasy, and will not let belief take hold of you, touching this dread sight twice seen of me. Therefore, I have entreated you with me to watch the minutes of this night, that if again this apparition come, you may approve my eyes and speak to it.
Tush, tush, 'twill not appear.
Sit down a while, and once again I will assail your ears that are so fortified against my story, what I have tonight seen.
Well, sit me down and let me hear Bernardo speak of this.
Last night of all, when yon same star that's westward from the pole had made its way to illume that part of heaven where now it burns, the bell
Peace!
then beating
Break thee off, look, where it comes again.
and in the same figure as the queen that's dead. Oh, thou art a scholar, speak to it, Horatio. Look it not like the queen.
Most,
Look it, Horatio.
most like. It harrows me with fear and wonder.
Would be spoken to. Question it, Horatio.
What art thou that usurped this time of night? By heaven, I charge thee, speak.
behind it. See, it stalks away.
Speak! Speak! Stay and speak!
It is gone and will not answer. How now, Horatio? Thou tremble and look pale. This is not something more than fantasy. What think you on it?
Before my God, I might not disbelieve without the sensible and true avouch of mine own eyes.
Looking not like the queen.
As thou art to thyself, 'tis strange.
This 2 nights since, and just at this dead hour hath she with martial stalk gone by my watch.
What particular thought to work I know not, but in the gross and scope of my opinion, this puts some strange eruption to our state. But look, where it comes again. I'll cross it though it blasphemy. Stay, illusion! If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me! If there be any good thing to be done that may to thee do ease, and grace to me, speak to me! If thou art privy to thy country's fate, which haply foreknowing may avoid, oh speak! Speak! Stay and speak! I charge thee! Stop it, Bernardo!
What shall I strike at it with thy partisan?
Do if it will not stand!
'Tis there!
'Tis there!
It's gone.
You do it wrong, being so majestical as to offer it the show of violence, for it is, as the air, invulnerable, or malicious blows, mockery. But look, the morn over eastern hill is thus appearing, walks o'er the dew of yon high eastward hill. Break we up our watch, and by my advice let us impart what we have seen tonight unto the young Hamlet, for upon my life the spirit, dumb to us, will talk to her.
Let's do it. And I this morning know where we shall find her most conveniently.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear sister's death, the memory be green, and that it us be fitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe, yet so far hath discretion fought with nature that we, with wisest sorrow, think on her together with remembrance of ourselves.
Therefore, our sometime sister, now our queen, with mirth and funeral, with dirge and marriage, in equal scale, weighing delight and dole, taken to wife.
Nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along. For all our thanks. Now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit, Laertes. What is it? You cannot speak of reason to the Dane and lose your voice.
What wouldst thou beg, Laertes, that shall not be thy offer, not thy asking? The head is not more native to the heart, the hand more instrumental to the mouth, than the throne of Denmark is to thy mother. What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
My dread lord, your leave and favor to return to France, from whence though willingly I came to Denmark, to show my duty at your wedding, yet now I must confess, that duty done, my thoughts and wishes bend again towards France, and bow them to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your mother's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave by laboursome petition, and at last, upon his will, I sealed my hard consent. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes, time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will.
And now, my cousin Hamlet and my daughter.
A little more than kin and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lady, I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted color off, and let thy eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek for thy noble mother in the dust. Thou know it is common. All that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, sir, 'tis common.
If it be, but why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, sir? Nay, it is. I know not seems. It is not alone this inky cloak, good father, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspiration of forced breath, nor the fruitful river in the eye, nor the dejected behavior of the visage that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play. But I have that within that passes show these with the trappings and the suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your mother. But you must know your mother lost a mother. That mother lost hers. And the survivor bound in filial obligation for some time to do obsequious sorrow. But to persevere in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven, a heart unfortified, a mind impatient, an understanding simple and unschooled. For what we know must be, and is as common as any, the most vulgar thing to sense. Now why should we, in our peevish opposition, take it to heart? Fie! 'Tis a fault against heaven, a fault against the dead, a fault to nature, and to reason most absurd. We entreat you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of a mother. As for your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you, bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier cousin and our daughter.
Well, let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray you stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, sir.
Why, 'tis a loving and a fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Madam, come away.
That this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. That the everlasting had not fixed his ken and himself slaughter. God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable will seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie on it! Fie! 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this. 2 months dead. Nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a queen, so loving to my father. Must I think, why he would hang on her as if increase in appetite had grown by what it fed on. And yet within a month, oh, frailty, thy name is man. A little month ere those shoes were old with which he followed my poor mother's body. Like Niobe, all tears. He marries my aunt, my mother's sister, and yet no more like my mother than I to Hercules. Within a month, ere the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in his galled eyes, he married almost wicked speed to post, with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor cannot come to good, but break my heart, or I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your ladyship!
I am glad to see thee well. Oh, Horatio! Oh. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. Bernardo, good evening, sir. I'm glad to see you well. But what in faith bring you from Wittenberg?
A truant disposition.
I know you are no truant. But what brings you to Elsinore? We'll make you drink deep ere you depart.
I came to see your mother's funeral.
I pray thee do not mock me. I think it was to see my father's wedding.
Indeed, it followed hard upon.
Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats that coldly furnished the marriage tables. That I had seen my dearest foe in heaven, or ever I had seen that day, Horatio. My mother. Methinks I see my mother.
Where, my lady?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
She was a goodly queen.
She was a woman. Take her for all in all. I shall never look upon her like again.
My lady, I think I saw her yesternight.
Saw who?
My lady, the queen, your mother.
The queen, my mother.
season your admiration for a while with an attent ear, till I may deliver, upon the witness of this gentlewoman, this marvel to you.
For God's love, let me hear.
3 nights hath this gentlewoman, Bernardo, kept her watch in the dead vast middle of the night, and thus encountered. The figure, like your mother, appears before her. Thrice she walked by her, oppressed in fear surprised eyes, while she stood dumb and did not speak to her. This to me impart she in dreadful silence, and I with her, the 3rd night, kept the watch where each word made true and good. The apparition comes, my lady. I knew your mother. These hands are not more like.
But where was this?
On the platform, my lady, where we watched.
And did you not speak to it?
I did, but answer made it none. Yet once we thought it did raise itself to motion like as it would speak, but even then the morning cock crew loud, and at the sound it shrunk in haste away and vanished from our sight.
'Tis very strange.
As I do live, my honored lady, 'tis true.
Indeed, indeed, friends, but this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight.
I do, my lady.
Look she frowningly.
A countenance more like in sorrow than in anger.
If I had been there.
It would have much amazed you.
I will watch tonight, perchance 'twill walk again.
I warrant it will.
Then assume my mother's person, I'll speak to it, though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace. If you have hitherto concealed this sight, let it be tenable in your silence still. And whatsoever else you'll hap tonight, give it an understanding but no tongue. I will requite your loves. Fare you well. Upon the platform twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
Our duty to your honor.
My love is yours. Farewell. My mother's spirit? All is not well. I doubt some foul play. Would the night were come! Till then sit still my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth overwhelm them to men's eyes.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And sister, as the winds give benefit and convoys assistant, do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
For Hamlet and the trifling of her nature, hold it a fashion and a toy in blood. A violet in the youth of primy nature, forward, not permanent, sweet, not lasting. The perfume and suppliance of a minute, no more.
No more but so?
Think you no more. Perhaps she loves you now, but you must fear her greatness weighed, her will is not her own, for she herself is subject to her birth. For on her choice lays the health and safety of the whole state. If she says she loves you, it fits your wisdom so far to believe it, for she in her particular act and place may give her saying deed, which is no further than the main voice of Denmark goes withal. Then weigh what loss your honor may sustain, if with too quick near you list her songs, or lose your heart. Fear it, Ophelia. Fear it, my dear sister, and keep you in the rear of affection, out of the shot of pain and desire. Be wary. Best safety lies in fear. Youth to itself rebels, though none else near.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart. But good my brother, do not as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whiles like a puffed and reckless libertine himself the primrose path of dalliance treads and recks not his own reed.
Oh, fear me not. I stay too long. But here, my mother comes. A double blessing is a double grace. Occasion smiles upon a second leave.
Yet here, Laertes, aboard for shame. For the wind sits in the shoulder your sail you are stayed for. There, my blessing with thee. And these few precepts for thy memory. See thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast in their adoption tried, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel. But do not dull thy palm with entertainments of each new-hatched, unfledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, beareth the opposed should beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly to habit the purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, not gaudy, for the apparel oft proclaims the man. And they in France of the best rank and station are the most select and generous chief in that. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for a loan oft loses itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. But this above all, to thine own self be true, for it follows as the day the night, thou canst not then be false to any man. There, my blessing season this indeed.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lady.
The time invites you go, your servants tend.
Farewell, Ophelia, and remember well what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
What is it, Ophelia, he hath said to you?
So please you, something touching the Lady Hamlet.
Very well be thought. 'Tis told me she hath very oft of late given private time to you, and you yourself have of your audience been most free and bounteous. If it be so, as so 'tis put on me, and that in the way of caution, I must tell you, you do not understand yourself so clearly as behooves your honor and my daughter. What is between you? Give me up the truth.
She hath, my lady, of late made many tenders of her affection to me.
Affection? Pooh! You speak like a green girl, unsifted in such perilous circumstances. Do you believe her tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lady, what I should think.
Mary, I will teach you. Think yourself a baby. That which you have taken for true pay, which is not sterling. Tender yourself more dearly, or you'll tender me a fool.
My lady, she hath importuned me with love in honorable fashion.
I do know when the blood burns how prodigal the soul lends the tongue's vows. Ophelia, do not believe her vows, for they are brokers, not of the dye which their investments show, but mere implorators of unholy suits, breathing like unsanctified pious bawds the better to beguile. I would not, in plain terms, from this time forth, have you slander any moment of leisure as to give words or speak with the Lady Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you. Come your ways.
I shall obey, my lady.
There's a nipping and eager air.
What hour now?
I think it lacks of 12.
No is struck.
Indeed, I heard it not. And it nears the hour in which the spirit held her wont to walk. Look, my lady, it comes.
Angels and ministers of grace defend us. Be thou a spirit of health or goblin damned. Thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. I'll call thee Hamlet. Queen, mother, oh answer me. Let me not burst in ignorance, but tell why thy canonized bones, hearsed in death, have burst their cerements. Say, why is this? Wherefore, what should we do?
It beckons you as if it's some impartment and desire to you alone.
Look, with that courteous action, it beckons you to a more removed ground. But do not go with it.
No, by no means.
I will not speak, then I will follow it.
Do not, my lady.
Why, what should be the fear? It weighs me forth again, I'll follow it.
What if it take you to the summit of some cliff, or to the dreadful flood, and there assume some other horrible form that might deprive your sovereignty of reason, or draw you into madness? Think of it.
It weighs me still. I'll go on, I'll follow thee.
Do not go with it, my lady.
Hold off your hands.
Be ruled, you shall not go.
My fate cries out, unhand me, I say, away. Go. Go on, I'll follow thee.
She waxes desperate with imagination.
Let's follow her. 'Tis not fit thus to obey her.
Have after, to what issue will this come?
Something's rotten in the state of Denmark.
Heaven will direct it.
Hey, let's follow her.
Where wilt thou lead me? Speak. I'll go no further.
Mark me.
I will.
My hour is almost come, when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself.
Alas, poor ghost.
Pity me not, but lend a serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
So art thou to revenge when thou shalt hear.
What?
I am thy mother's spirit, doomed for a term to walk the night, and in the day confined to fast in fires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But that I am forbid to reveal the secrets of my prison house, I could a tale unfold whose lightest words would harrow up thy soul. But these eternal blazings must not be to ears of flesh and blood. List, list, oh, list! If thou didst best ever thy dear mother love.
God.
Revenge her foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder?
Murder most foul, as in the best it is, but this most foul, strange and unnatural.
Haste me to know it, that I may sweep to my revenge.
I find thee apt. Now, Hamlet, hear. 'Tis given out that sleeping in my orchard a serpent stung me. Thus is the whole ear of Denmark by a forged process of my death rankly abused. But know, thou noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy mother's life now wears her crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul, my aunt!
Aye, that incestuous, adulterate beast, with witchcraft of wit and traitorous gifts, oh, wicked wit and gifts, that have the power so to seduce one to her shameful lust, the will of my most seeming virtuous king. Oh, Hamlet, what a falling out was there from me, whose love was of that dignity that it went hand in hand, even with the vow I made to him in marriage, and to decline upon a wench whose natural gifts were poor to those of mine. But soft, methinks I scent the morning air. Brief let me be. Sleeping within my orchard, my custom always in the afternoon, upon my secure hour my sister stole, with juice of cursed Hebanon in a vial, and in the porches of my ear did pour the leprous distilment, whose effect holds such an enmity with the blood of man, that fast as quicksilver it courses through the gates and alleys of the body. Thus was I, sleeping by a sister's hand, of life of king at once dispatched, cut off even in the blossoms of my sin, unhouselled, disappointed, no reckoning made, but sent to my account with all my imperfections on my head. Oh, horrible, most horrible! If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. But howsoever thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy father aught. Leave him to heaven, and to those thorns that in his bosom lodge, to prick and sting. Fare thee well at once. Adieu. Adieu, Hamlet. Remember me!
Oh, you host of heaven, oh earth! What else? And shall I couple hell? Fie, hold my heart in you, my sinews grown an instant old, but bear me stiffly up. Remember thee! Aye, thou poor ghost, will memory hold the seed in this distracted globe? Remember thee, yea! From the table of my memory, I'll wipe away all trivial fond records. I'll souse the books, all forms, all precious path that youth and observation copied there. And thy commandment there alone shall live. Within the book and volume of my brain, unmixed with baser matter, yes, by heaven! Oh, villain, smiling damned villain! That one may smile and be a villain. At least I'm sure it may be so in Denmark. So, Aunt, there you are! Now to my word. It is adieu, remember me! I have sworn!
My lady! Lady! Hamlet!
Sophia!
Secure her!
Come!
How is my noble lady?
What news, my lady?
Oh, wonderful!
Tell it!
No, you'll reveal it.
Not I, my lady. You are my lady.
I'll say you then, but you'll be secret.
I, my heaven, my lady.
Friends, as you are friends, scholars and soldiers, grant me this one poor request.
What is it? it, my lady, we will.
Never to make known what you have seen tonight.
My lady, we will not.
Nay, but swear it.
In faith, my lady, not I.
Nor I, my lady, in faith.
Upon my sword.
But we have sworn, my lady, already.
Indeed, upon my sword, indeed. Swear! Consent to swear.
Propose the oath, my lady.
Never to speak of that which you have seen. Swear by my sword. Swear! Come hither again upon my sword, never to make known what you have heard tonight. Swear by my sword. Swear!
Oh, day and night, but this is wondrous strange.
And as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. But come, here as before, never, so help you mercy, how strange or odd soe'er I bear myself, as I perchance shall think me to put an antic disposition on, that you at such times, seeing me, never shall with arms encumbered thus, or this head shake, or by pronouncing of some doubtful phrase that you know aught of me, this not to do. So grace and mercy at your most need help you swear. Swear! Rest, perturbed spirit!
I swear.
So friends, I do commend my love to you, and what so poor a woman as Hamlet is may do to express her love and friending to you, God willing, shall not lack. But let us go in together. But still your fingers on your lips, I pray. The time is out of joint. Oh, cursed spite that ever I was born to set it right. Nay, but come, let's go together.
How now, Ophelia? What is the matter?
My lady, I have been so affrighted.
With what? In the name of God?
My lady, as I was sewing in my closet, Lady Hamlet with her doublet all unbraced, stockings fouled, ungartered, pale as her shirt, her knees knocking each other, and with a look so piteous and purport as if she had been loosed out of hell to speak of horror, she comes before me.
Mad for thy love?
My lady, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
What said she?
She took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes she to the length of all her arm, and with her hand thus o'er her brow, she falls to such perusal of my face as she would draw it. Long stayed she so. At last a little shaking of mine arm, and thrice her head thus waving up and down, she raised a sigh so piteous and profound, as it did seem to shatter all her being. That done, she lets me go. And with her head thus o'er her shoulder turned, she seemed to find her way without her eyes, for out of doors she went without their helps, and to the last bended their light on me.
Come, go with me. I will seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love. I am sorry. Have you given her any hard words of late?
No, my good lady, but as you did command, I did repel her fetters and denied her access to me.
That hath made her mad. I am sorry that with better heed and judgment I had not quoted her. By heavens, it is proper for our age to cast beyond ourselves in our opinions, as it's common for the younger sort to lack discretion. Come, we go to the king.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we much did long to see you, the need we had to use you provoked our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation? What it should be more than her mother's death, that hath put her thus far from understanding of herself, I cannot dream on. I entreat you both, vouchsafe you rest here in our port some little time, so by your companies draw her on to pleasures, and to gather, so much as from occasion you may glean, whether aught to us unknown afflicts her thus, that open lies within our remedy.
Well, she hath much talked of you. If it will please you to show us so much gentry and goodwill as to spend your time with us a while, for the supply and profit of our hope, your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesty's might, by the sovereign power you have of us, put your dread powers more into command than to entreaty.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent, to lay ourselves freely at your feet, to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz. And gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz. Oh, and I beseech you, instantly to visit my too much changed daughter.
May our practices and presence make ourselves pleasant and helpful to her.
Aye, amen.
My good liege, I hold my duty as I hold my soul, both to my God and to my gracious king. And I do think that I have found the very cause of the Lady Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that. That do I long to hear.
My liege, madam, to expostulate, what majesty should be, what duty is, why day is day, night, night, and time is time, were nothing but to waste day, night, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness its limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble daughter is mad. Mad, I call it, for what else is it to define true madness to be nothing else but mad? But let that go.
More matter, with less art.
Madam, I swear, I use no art at all. That she is mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true, 'tis pity. Pity, 'tis true. A foolish figure. But for I will use no art. Mad, let us grant her then. Thus it remains that we find the cause of this effect, or rather the cause of this defect. For this effective defective comes by cause, thus it remains, and the remainder thus. I have a daughter, who in her duty and obedience to me, hath brought me this. Now gather and surmise. To the celestial in my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. It's an ill phrase, vile phrase, beautified, such a vile phrase. I will keep reading. In her excellent white bosom, these and etc.
Came this from Hamlet to her.
Good madam, stay a while. I will be faithful. Doubt thou stars or fire, doubt the sun doth move. Doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Oh, dear Ophelia, I am ill at these numbers. I have not art to reckon my groans. But that I love thee best, oh, most best, believe it, adieu. Thine evermore, most dear lady, Hamlet. This in obedience to me hath my daughter shown to me.
But how hath she received her love?
What do you think of me?
As of a woman faithful and honorable.
I should fain prove so. For what would you think when I had seen this hot love on a wing? If I'd given my heart a winking, mute and dumb? Or if I'd looked upon this love with idle sight, what would you think? No! I went round to work, and thus my noble daughter I did thus bespeak. Lady Hamlet is a princess, this must not be. And then these few precepts I gave to her, that she should lock herself from her resort, admit no tokens, and receive no messengers. Which done, she took the fruits of my advice, and the Lady Hamlet, repulsed, fell into a sadness, thence into a fast, thence to a lightness, thence into a weakness, and by this declension into the very madness which she now raves, and we all mourn for.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may be very likely.
Hath there been such a time, I'd fain know that I positively said 'tis so when it proved otherwise?
Not that I know.
Take this from this if it be otherwise.
How shall we try it further?
You know, sometimes she walks 4 hours together here in the lobby.
So she does indeed.
At such time, I'll loose my daughter to her. Be you and I behind the arras then. Mark the encounter. If she loves her not, I shall be no assistant for state, but keep a farm and garters.
We will try it. But look, where sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
I do beseech you both, away, away. I will board her presently. How does my good Lady Hamlet?
Oh, God of mercy.
Do you know me, my lady? Excellent. Well, you are a fishmonger! Not I, my lady.
Oh. Well, then I wish you were so honest a woman.
Honest, my lady.
Aye. Honesty as this world goes is to be one plucked out of 10,000.
That is true, my lady.
As the sun breeds maggots and dead dogs, being a god-kissing carrion. Have you a daughter?
I have, my lady.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but not as your daughter may conceive. Friend, look to it.
What say you by that? Still harping on my daughter? She knew me not at first. She thought I was a fishmonger. She's far gone. Far gone. I'll speak to her again. What is it you read, my lady?
Words. Words. Words.
What is the matter, my lady?
We do.
What's the matter with what you read, my lady?
Ah! Scandals. Slanderers, ma'am. The satirical rogue says here that women, old women, have gray hair, that their faces are wrinkled, ooh, and that they have a plentiful lack of wit. All together with most weak hams. All of which I most powerfully and potently believe, but I find it not honesty to have it thus set down, for yourself could be as old as I am if, like a crab, you could go backwards.
Though this be madness, there is a method in it. Will you walk out in the light, my lady, in the air, my lady?
Into my grave.
Indeed, that is out in the air, my lady. How pregnant her replies sometimes are. Happiness that often madness hits on. I will leave her and suddenly contrive a meeting between her and my daughter. My lady, I most humbly take my leave of you.
You cannot very well take from me anything that I would more willingly part withal, except my life. Except my life! Except my life!
Fare you well, my lady. You seek the Lady Hamlet? There she is.
These tedious old fools.
My honored lady.
My most dear lady.
My excellent good friends! Oh, Guildenstern, how do you? Oh, Rosencrantz, how do you both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy in that we are not over happy.
What's the news?
None, my lady, except the world has grown honest.
Then is doomsday near. But your news is not true. Let me question more in particular. What have you deserved at the hands of fortune that she sends you to prison hither?
Prison, my lady.
Aye, Denmark's a prison.
Why, then is the world one?
A goodly one, in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons. Denmark being one of the worst.
My lady, we think not so.
Aye, then 'tis none to you. For there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. To me, it is a prison.
Then ambition makes it one. 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
Oh, shall we to the court? For by my fay, I cannot reason.
We'll wait upon you.
No such matter. What brings you to Elsinore?
To visit you, my lady. No other occasion.
Oh, beggar that I am, I'm even poor in thanks, but I humbly thank you. Were you not sent for? Was it your own inclining, a free visitation? Come, deal justly with me. Come, nay, speak.
What should we say, my lady?
Why, anything but to the purpose. You were sent for, and as a kind of confession in your looks which your modesties have not craft enough to color. I know the good queen and king sent for you.
To what end, my lady?
That you must teach me, but let me conjure you by the rights of our fellowship and by the obligation of our ever-preserved love, be even and direct with me, whether you were sent for or no.
What think you on't?
Nay, I have an eye of you. If you love me, hold not out.
My lady, we were sent for.
I will tell you why. So my anticipation prevent your discovery, and your secrecy to the king and queen molts no feather. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercises, and it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This excellent canopy, the air, look you, this brave, overhanging firmament, this majestical roof fretted with gold and fire. Why, it seems no other thing to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. And what a piece of work is man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculty, in form and moving, how express and admirable, in apprehension, how like a god, in action, how like an angel. The beauty of the world, the paragon of animals. What is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me. No, nor woman neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
Oh, my lady, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Why did you laugh then when I said man delights not me?
Think, my lady, if you take no delight in man, what Lenten entertainment the players shall receive from you. We coated them on the way, and hither they are coming to offer you service.
What players are these?
Why, even those you were wont to take delight in, the tragedians of the city.
Well, friends, you are welcome to Elsinore. But, my uncle, father, and aunt's mother are deceived.
In what, my dear lady?
I am but mad. North-northwest. But when the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw. You are welcome to Elsinore.
Good, my lady.
God be with you.
Well be with you.
Hark you a hearer at each ear. This great babe you see there is not quite out of her swaddling clouts. I prophesy that she comes to tell me of the players' market.
My lady, I have news to tell you.
My lady, I have news to tell you. When Russius was an actor in Rome...
The actors are come hither, my lady.
What?
Upon mine honor.
Well, then did each actor come on his ass?
The best actors in the world. For either tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, pastoral comical, historical pastoral, tragical historical, tragical comical historical pastoral, scene individable, or poem unlimited. Seneca is not too heavy, nor Plautus too light. For the law of writ and liberty, these are the only men.
Oh, Jeff, the judge of Israel, what a treasure hast thou!
What treasure hath he, my lady?
Why, one fair daughter, and no more, the which he loved passing well.
Still on my daughter.
Oh, masters, you are welcome. My good friend, your face is balanced since I saw you last. Pray God your voice, like a piece of uncurrent gold, be not cracked within the ring. And my young lady and mistress, your ladyship is nearer to heaven than when I saw thee last. You are welcome to Elsinore. But come, give us a speech straight. Come, a passionate speech.
What speech, my lady?
I heard thee speak me a speech once, but was never acted, at least not above once. For the play, I remember, please, not the million. An excellent play. One speech in it I chiefly loved. 'Twas Aeneas' tale to Dido. If it live in your memory, begin at this line. It begins with Pyrrhus. Oh, rugged Pyrrhus, his sable arms, dark as his purpose, did the night resemble, as he lay couched in his ominous horse. Hath now this dread and black complexion smeared with heraldry more dismal, tricked with the blood of fathers, mothers, daughters, sons, baked and empasted with the parching streets, lend a damned light to their lord's murder. Roasted in wrath and fire, and thus o'er sighs with coagulate gore, with eyes like carbuncles. The hellish Pyrrhus, Old grandsire Priam seeks. So proceed you.
Very good, my lady, with good accent and good discretion.
Anon he finds him, striking short at Greeks. His antique sword, rebellious to his arm, lies where it falls, repugnant to command. Pyrrhus, at Priam strikes, enraged strikes wide, but with the whiff and wind of his fell sword, the unnerved father falls. Then senseless Ilium, seeming to feel this blow, with flaming top stoops to its base, and with a hideous crash takes prisoner Pyrrhus's ear.
This is too long.
Shout at the barbers with your beard. Say on. Come to Hecuba.
But who, oh woe, had seen the Moblid Queen?
Moblid Queen? Oh, that's good. Moblid Queen is good.
Run barefoot up and down, threatening the flames. The clot upon her head where late the diadem stood. Who this had seen, with tongue in venom steeped, 'gainst fortune's state would treason out pronounced. But if the gods themselves did see her there, when she saw Pyrrhus make malicious sport in mincing with his sword her husband's limbs, the instant burst of clamor that she made, unless things mortal moved them not at all, would make milch the burning eyes of heaven and passion in the gods.
Look, but she has tears in her eyes and has lost her color. I pray you no more. 'Tis well.
We'll hear thee speak the rest out soon. Take the players in.
I will bestow them according to their deserts.
God's bodikins, woman. Treat every man to his desert, and who should escape whipping? Use every man after your own honor and dignity. The less they deserve, the more merit is in your bounty. Take them in.
Come, sirs.
Friend, follow that lady. Doth hear me, old friend. Dost thou know the play of the murder of Gonzago?
Aye, my lady.
We'll hear thee speak that out tomorrow. Could you, for a need, perchance study a speech of some 12 to 16 lines that I would set down and insert in it? Could you not?
Aye, my lady.
Very well. Follow that lady and pray you mock her not. I am alone. What a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force her soul so to her own conceit, that from her working all her visage waned, tears in her eyes, distraction in her aspect, a broken voice, and her whole function suiting with forms to her conceit? What would she do had she the motive and the cue for passion that I have? Why, she would drown the stage with tears and cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty, appall the free, confound the ignorant, and amaze indeed the very eyes and ears. Yet I, a dull and muddy-mettled rascal, peak like John a dreams, unpregnant of my cause, and can say nothing. No, not for a queen, upon whose property and most dear life a damned defeat was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain? Breaks my paid across, gives me a lie in the throat as deep as to the lungs. Who does me this? Oh, bloody body villain! Remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain! Oh, vengeance! What an ass am I! Oh, most brave, that I, the child of a dear mother murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must, like a whore, unpack my heart with words and fall a cursing like a very drab, a scullion. Oh, fie on it, foe! my brain. I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have, by the very cunning of the scene, been struck so to the soul that they have proclaimed their malefactions. For murder, though it has no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the death of my mother before mine aunt. I'll observe her looks, and if she but blench, I know my course. The spirit that I have seen may be a devil, and the devil hath the power to assume a pleasing shape, and perchance out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he is very potent with such spirits, uses me to damn me. I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing, wherein I'll catch the conscience of the queen.
Sweet king, leave us, for we have closely sent for Hamlet hither, that she, as 'twere by accident, may here affront Ophelia. Her mother and I, lawful espials, will so bestow ourselves that, seeing unseen, we may of their encounter frankly judge, and gather by her as she is behaved, whether it be the affliction of her love or no, that thus she suffers for.
I shall. And for your part, Ophelia, I do hope that your good beauties be the happy cause of Hamlet's wildness. Oh, so shall I hope your virtues will bring her to her wonted way again, to both your honors.
Sir, I wish it may. Ophelia, walk you here. Gracious would please you, we will bestow ourselves even here. Oh, read on this book that its exercise may color your loneliness. Madam, I hear her coming. Let's withdraw. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of trouble, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that this flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Ah, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. And there's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy take, when he himself might his quietest make with a bare bodkin. For who would bardles bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have, than fly to those that we know not of. And thus, conscience makes fools of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pith and moment. With this regard, the currents turn awry and lose the name of action. Soft you now, the fair Ophelia. Nymph in thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
Good my lady, how does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well. My lady, I have remembrances of yours that I have longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them. No, not I never gave you aught. My lady, you know right well you did. And with them words of so sweet breath composed as made the things more rich. Their perfume lost, take these again. For to the noble mind, rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lady. Are you honest? My lady? Are you fair? What means your ladyship? For if you be honest and fair, you're honest, you should admit no discourse to your beauty. Could beauty, my lady, have better commerce than with honesty? Aye, truly! For the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd than the force of honesty can translate beauty into her likeness. This was sometime a paradox. But now the time gives it proof. I did love you once. Indeed, my lady, you made me believe so. You should not have believed me. I loved you not. I was the more deceived. Get thee to a nunnery! I am myself indifferent, honest. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offenses at my beck than I have thoughts to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in. What should creatures such as I do crawling between earth and heaven? We are errant wretches all. Believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Farewell. Achoo! Where's your mother? At home, my lady. Let the doors be shut upon her, and she play the fool nowhere but in her own house. Farewell. Help her, you sweet heaven. And if thou dost marry, I give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow. Thou shalt not escape calumny. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Farewell. Or, if thou wilt needs marry a fool. For wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. Go thy ways to another, quickly too. Farewell. Oh, heavenly powers, restore her. And I have heard of your paintings too. God has given you one face, and you make for yourself another. You dig, you amble, you lisp, and you nickname God's creatures, and you make your wantonness your ignorance. Oh, no more on it has made me mad. There shall be no more marriages than those that are married already. All but one shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery go. Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown. An unmatched form and feature of blown youth blasted with ecstasy. Woe is me to have seen what I have seen. See what I see.
Love, her affections do not that way tend. Nor what she spake, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. There is something on her soul, o'er which her melancholy sits unbrewed, and I do doubt the hatch, and the disclose will be of some danger. Therefore, to prevent, I have in quick determination thus set it down, she shall, with speed, to England, for the demand of our neglected tribute. Happily the seas and countries different with variable objects will expel this seeming settled matter on her heart, o'er which her brain still beating puts her thus from fashion of herself. What think you on it?
Shall do well, but I do think that the very commencement and origin of her grief sprung from neglected love. How now, Ophelia? You need not tell us what Hamlet said. We heard it all. My lady, do what you think best, but should you look favorably upon it, after the play, let her father all alone entreat her to show her grief. If he find her not, to England send her, or confine her wherever you shall think best.
Shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
See, I tell you what I pronounce it to you trippingly on the tongue. And if you mouth the word as many of your players do, I had the town crier spoke my lines, nor do not saw the air too much with your hands thus. Use all gently, for in the tempest torrent, as I may say, the very whirlwind of passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that may give it smoothness. Be not too tame neither, but let your discretion be your tutor. Suit the action to the word to the action, and in this special o'erstep not the modesty of nature, or anything so overdone is from the purpose of playing. Both at the first and now was and is, as were to hold a mirror up to nature, to show virtue her feature, scorn her own image, and the very age and body of the time, his form and pressure. Get thee ready. My lady, the queen will hear this piece of work. That too, and the king too, and that presently. Bid the players make haste. What ho, Horatio!
Here, sweet lady, at your service.
There is a play tonight before the queen. One scene of it comes very near the circumstance which I have told thee of my mother's death. When thou seest that act afoot, observe mine aunt. If her occulted guilt cannot itself unkennel in one speech, it is a damned ghost we have seen, and my imaginations are foul. Give her heedful note. For mine eyes will rivet to her face, and after we were all judgments, both, compare and censure of her seeming.
Well, my lady, if she steal aught whilst the play is playing and escape detecting, I will pay the theft.
They are coming. I must be idle. Get thee a place.
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
Excellent! Well, in faith, I eat the chameleon's dish, promise crammed. You cannot feed cape and such.
I have nothing by this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
No, nor mine now. Why, ma'am, you played in the university, you say?
I did, my lady, and I was accounted quite the actor.
What did you enact?
I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol. Brutus killed me.
It was a brute part of them to kill so capital a calf there.
Come hither, my dear Hamlet, sit by me.
No, good father, here's metal more attractive.
Oh ho, did you mark that?
Lady, may I lie in your lap?
No, my lady. I mean, my head upon your lap. Aye, my lady.
Did you think I meant country matters?
I think nothing, my lady.
That's a fair thought. To lie between maids' legs.
What is, my lady?
Nothing.
You are merry, my lady. What? I, my lady.
Oh, God be your only jig maker. What should a woman do but be merry? So look how cheerfully my father looked. And my mother died within these 2 hours.
Nay, 'tis twice 2 months, my lady.
So long. Nay, then let the devil wear black. Oh, I'll have a suit of sables. 2 months dead and not forgotten yet. Well, there's hope that a great woman's memory will outlive her life half a year.
What do you call the play?
The Mousetrap. Mary Howe, Tropicles. 'Tis the image of a murder done in Vienna. Gonzago's his name. His wife, Baptista. You shall see anon 'tis a knavish piece of work. But what of that? Your majesty and we that have free souls, it touches us not.
You are as good as a chorus, my lady.
This is one Luciana, niece to the queen.
Thoughts black, hands out, drugs fit and time agreeing. Confederate season, thus no creature seeing. Now mixture rank of midnight weeds collected, with Hecate's band thrice blasted, thrice infected. Thy natural magic and dire property, unwholesome life, usurp immediately.
Poisons her in the garden. His name's Gonzago. The play is extant and written choice Italian. You shall see anon how the murderer wins the love of Gonzago. Who he rises. What? Fried it with false fire.
How fares my lady?
Give over the play. Give me some lights. Away! Lights! 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 Oh, Horatio. I'll take the ghost word for £1,000 and perceive.
Aye, my lady.
Upon the talk of the poisoning.
Very well, did take note of her.
Come, some music. Come, the recorders. The queen like not the comedy, perchance she liketh not, Purdy. Come, some music.
Good, my lady. Vouchsafe me a word with you.
A whole history.
The queen,
What of her?
in her retirement, marvelous distempered.
From drink.
No, my lady, rather with choler.
Your wisdom should show itself more richer to signify this to her doctor than for me to put her purgation would plunge her into far more choler.
Good, my lady. Put your discourse into some frame and start not so wildly from my affair.
I am tame, pronounce.
The king, your father, in most great affliction of spirit, hath sent me to you.
You are welcome.
Your behavior has struck him into amazement and admiration.
How amazing, a daughter that can so astonish a father.
He desires to speak with you in his closet ere you go to bed.
We will come were he 10 times our father. Have you any further trade with us?
My lady, you once did love me.
So I do still.
Good, my lady, what is the cause of your distemper? You do surely bar the door upon your own liberty to deny your grace to your friends.
My lady, if our duty be twofold, then our love is too unmannerly.
I do not well understand that. Will you play upon this pipe?
My lady, I cannot.
I beseech you.
Believe me, I cannot.
I pray thee.
I know no touch of it, my lady.
Look, govern these vintages with your fingers. It is easy as lying. Give it breath with your mouth, and it shall relinquish most eloquent music. Here are the stops.
But these cannot I command to any utterance of harmony. I have not the skill.
How unworthy a thing you make of me. You would play upon me, you would seem to know my stops. Do you think I'm easier to be played upon than a pipe? Call me what instrument you will. Though you may fret me, you may not play upon me. Alas, oh, God bless you.
My lady, the king would speak with you, and presently.
Sophie. yonder cloud in the shape of a camel.
By the mass, it's like a camel indeed.
But methinks it's like a weasel.
It's backed like a weasel,
Or like a whale.
very like a whale.
I shall come by and by. They fool me to the top of my bent. I shall come by and by.
I shall say so.
By and by, it's easily said. Hey. Leave me. Friend. 'Tis now the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn, and hell itself breathes out contagion to the world. Now might I drink hot blood and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look on. But soft now to my father. Heart, lose not thy nature, and let not ever the soul of Nero enter this firm bosom. Let me be cruel, not unnatural. Let me speak daggers to him, but use none. My tongue and soul in this be hypocrites.
Like her not, nor stands it safe with us to let her madness rage. Therefore prepare you. I will your commission forthwith dispatch, and she to England shall along with you. The terms of our state may not endure hazard so dangerous as doth hourly grow out of her lunacies. Arm you, I pray you, to the speedy voyage. For we will fetters put upon this fear, which now goes too free-footed. We will haste us.
My lady, she goes to her father's closet. I'll convey myself behind the arras to hear the process. Very well, my lady. I'll call upon you ere I go to bed and tell you what I know.
Thanks, dear my lord. Oh, my offense is rank. It smells to heaven. And hath the primal eldest curse upon it, a sibling's murder. And pray, I cannot. Though inclination be as strong as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. And like a woman in double business bound, I stand in pause where I should first begin and both neglect. But what form of prayer might serve my purpose? Forgive me my foul murder. Oh, that cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder. My crown, mine own ambition, and my king. May one be pardoned and still retain the offense? What then? What rest? Try what repentance can. Or can it not? Yet, what can it when one cannot repent? Oh! Bosoms black as death, help, angels! Make essay, bow, stubborn knees. The heart with strings of steel, be soft as sinews of a newborn babe. All may be well.
Now might I do it, Pat? Now she is praying, and now I'll do it! So she goes to heaven, and so am I revenged. This villain murders my mother, and I, her sole heir, do this same villain sin to heaven, and then am I revenged. To take her in the purging of her soul when she is fit and seasoned for passage, no! When she is drunk, asleep, or in her rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of her bed, or in some other act that has no relish of salvation in it, then trip her, so that her heels may kick in heaven, and her soul may be as damned and black as hell whereto it goes. My father stays. This physic but prolongs thy sickly days.
My words fly up. My thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
She will come straight. Look, you lay home to her. Tell her her pranks have been too broad to bear with, and your grace hath screened and stood between much heat and her.
Father!
I'll sconce myself even here. I pray you be round with her.
Withdraw, I hear her coming.
Father! How now, Father, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy mother much offended.
Father, you have my mother much offended.
Come, you answer with an idle tongue?
Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Why, how now, Hamlet, have you forgot me?
No, by the rood, not so. You are the king, your wife's sister's husband, and when it were not so, you are my father.
Nay, then I'll set those to you that can speak.
Come, sit you down. You shall not budge. You go not. Will I set you up a glass where you may see the inmost part of you?
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me? Help, ho!
What ho? Help! How now? A rat! Dead for my second dead! Oh!
Me, what hast thou done?
I know not. Was it the queen?
What a rash and bloody deed is this?
A bloody deed! Almost as bad, good father, as kill a queen and marry with her sister?
As kill a queen?
Aye, 'twas my word! Oh. Rash and brooding fool, farewell! I took thee for thy better. Take thy fortune. Leave, wringing of your hands, peace, sit you down, and let me wring your heart. Or so I shall if it be made of penetrable stuff.
What have I done that thou darest wag thy tongue and noise so rude against me?
Such an act as would blur the grace and blush of modesty, call virtue hypocrite. Take the rose from the fair forehead of an innocent love and set a blister there, make marriage vows as false as Dicer's oath.
I me what act that roars so loud and thunders in the index?
Look you, upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two sisters. See what a grace was seated on this brow. This was your wife. Look you now what follows this. This is your wife, like a mildewed ear blasting her wholesome sister. You cannot call it love, for heyday in the blood is tame. It lacks the judgment, and what judgment would go from this to this? Shame, where is thy blush?
Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turnest my eyes into my very soul. And there, I see such black and grayed spots as will not lose their
To
tint.
live in the rank sweat of an enseamed bed of murderer and of villain.
Speak to me no more. These words like daggers enter into my ears. No more, sweet Hamlet.
A king of shreds and patches. Save me and hover over me with your wings, oh you heavenly guards! What would your gracious figure?
Alas, she's mad.
Dost thou come to your tardy daughter to chide, who lapsed in time and judgment lets go by the important acting of your dread command. Oh, say!
Do not forget, this visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy father sits. Oh, step between him and his fighting soul. Conceit in weakest bodies, strongest works. Speak to him, Hamlet.
How is it with you, my lord?
Alas, how is it with you? That you do bend your eye on vacancy with the incorporeal air to hold discourse whereunto you look?
On her, look you, how pale she glares, her form and cause conjoined. Do not look upon me, lest with this piteous action you convert my stern effects from what I have to do will want true color tears, perchance of her blood.
To whom do you speak this?
Do you see nothing there?
No, nothing at all, yet all that is I see.
Nor nothing do you hear.
Nothing but ourselves.
Look you, where she goes.
Look how she steals away my mother in her habit as she once lived. Look! Look even now when she goes out of the portal. Look!
This, the very coinage of your brain, this bodiless creation, ecstasy it's very cunning and...
Ecstasy! My pulse! And yours doth temporarily keep time and makes us healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Good night, Father. But go not to mine aunt's bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not. Once more, good night. And when you are desirous to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of you. For this same lady, I do repent. But heaven hath pleased it so to punish me with this and this with me that I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow her well and answer well the death I gave her. Once more, good night. I must be cruel only to be kind. Thus bad begins and worse remains behind. One word more, good my lord.
What shall I do?
This by no means that I bid you do. Let the bloat queen tempt you again to bed, and let her for a pair of reachy kisses make you to ravel all this matter out. That I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft.
Be thou assured, if words be made of breath, and breath of life, I have no life to breathe what thou hast said to me.
I must to England. You know that?
'Tis so concluded on.
Letters sealed. And my two friends whom I will trust as I will adders, fangs, bear the mandate. They must sweep my way and marshal me to knavery. Let it work. Good night, Father. This servant is now most secret, most still, and most grave, who was in life a foolish, prating knave. Good night, Father. Come, my lady, to draw toward him. Night! Safely stowed.
Hamlet!
Lady
Hamlet! What noise?
Hamlet!
Who calls on Hamlet? Oh, here they come!
What did you do, my lady, with the dead body?
Encumbered it with dust, whereto 'tis kin!
My lady, you must tell us where the body is and go with us to see the queen.
The body? The body is with the queen, but the queen is not with the body. The queen is a thing.
A thing? My lady!
Of nothing. Take me to her.
Now, Hamlet! Where's Polonius?
At supper!
At supper where?
Not where she eats, but where she is eaten. A convocation of political worms is even at her. Your worm is your only emperor for diet. We fat all creatures to fat us, and we fed ourselves for maggots. Your fat queen, and your lean beggar are but variable services. 2 dishes, but to 1 table, and that's the end. A man might fish with a worm that have eat of a queen, and a cat of the fish that have fed on that worm.
What did you mean by this?
Oh, nothing, but to show how a queen might go through the guts of a beggar.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven! Send Indeed, if you find her not within the month, you shall lose her as you go up the stairs into the lobby. She shall wait till you come.
Hamlet, this deed, for thine especial safety, which we do tender, as we dearly grieve for that which thou hast done, must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself for England.
For England? Oh!
Aye, Hamlet.
Oh, goody, good!
So it is, if thou knewest our purposes.
Alas, come! Come for England, farewell, father!
Thy loving mother, Hamlet.
My father. For father and mother are man and wife are of one flesh, and therefore father. Come on, come for England!
Tempted with speed and board. Delay it not, I'll have her hence tonight. Away! For everything is sealed and done that else leans on the affair. Pray you, make haste! To England, thou mayest not coldly set our sovereign process, which imports at full, by letters congruing to that effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England! For like a hectic in my blood she rages, and thou must cure me till it is done. Howe'er my haps, my joys were ne'er begun.
I will not speak with her. She speaks much of her mother, says she hears there's tricks in the world, and hems, and beats her hard, spurns enviously at straws, speaks things in doubt that carry but half sense. Her speech is nothing, yet the unshaped use of it doth move the hearers to collection.
'Twere good she were spoken with, for she may strew dangerous conjectures in ill-breeding minds.
Let her come in.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
How now, Ophelia?
How should I your true love know from another one by her cockle hat and sandal shoe?
Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?
Say you? They pray you mark. She is dead and gone, my lord. She is dead and gone. At her head a grass green turn, at her heels a stone.
Nay, but Ophelia...
Pray you mark. White her shroud as the mountain snow.
Alas, look here, my lady.
Wadded with sweet flowers, which bewept to the grave did go, with true love shall.
How do you, pretty lady?
Well, God ill do. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. My lady, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
Take upon her mother.
Pray you, let's have no words of this. But when they ask you what it means, say you this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day. All in the morning betime. And I am made at your window to be your Valentine.
Pretty Ophelia.
Indeed, law, without an oath I'll make an end on it. Then up she rose and donned her clothes, undocked the chamber door, let in the maid that out a maid never departed long.
How long has she been thus?
I hope all will be well. We must be patient. But I cannot choose but weep to think they should lay her in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it, and so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night. Good night.
Follow her close. Keep a good watch, I pray you. Oh, this is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her mother's death.
Where is this king?
Poison that eloquent noise.
Where is this king? O thou vile king, give me my mother.
Calmly, good Laertes.
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear our person. Tell me, Laertes, why thou art thus incensed. Let him go, Gertrude. Speak, man.
Where is my mother?
Dead.
But not by him.
How came she dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell, allegiance, I tear, damnation. Let come what comes, only I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my mother.
Who shall stay you?
My will, not all the world. And by those means I will husband them so well, they should go far with little.
Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman. That I am guiltless of your mother's death, and am most sensible in grief for it. It shall as level to your judgment pierce as day does to your eye.
They bore her bare face on the bier, hey nonny, nonny, hey nonny, and in her grave reigned many a Fare you well, my dove.
Poor maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia. Is it possible that a young maid's wits should be as mortal as an old woman's life?
There's rosemary. That's for remembrance. Pray, love, remember. And there's pansies. That's for thoughts. There's fennel for you. And columbine. There's rue for you. And here's some for me. We may call it Herb Grace of Sundays. Or you must wear your rue with a difference. There's a daisy. I would give you some violets, but they withered all when my mother died. They say she made a good end. And will she not come again? And will she not come again?
Do you see this, O God?
Laertes, I must commune with your grief, for you deny me right. Go but apart, make choice of whom your wisest friends you will, and they shall hear and judge twixt you and me. If by direct or by collateral hand they find us touched, we will our kingdom give, our crown, our life, and all that we can ours to you in satisfaction. But if not, be you content to lend your patience to us, and we shall jointly labor with your soul to give it due content.
Let this be so. Her means of death, her obscure funeral cry to be heard. As for from heaven to earth, that I must call it into question.
And so you shall. And where the offense is, let the great axe fall. Pray you stay with me. Now, your acquaintance must my acquaintance seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend. She that hath your noble mother slain, pursued my life.
Hamlet? But tell me why you did not proceed against these feats, so crimeful and so capital in nature.
The king, her father, lives almost by her looks.
And so am I in noble mother-laws, a sister driven into desperate terms. But my revenge will come.
There's not just sleeps for that. Shortly you shall hear more. I loved your mother. We love ourselves. And that, I hope, will teach your How now, what news?
Letters, my lady, from Hamlet. This for your lady, this for the king.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. High and mighty, shall know I am set naked on your shore kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking your pardon thereunto, recount the sudden and more strange return. Hamlet, what should this mean? And here in a postscript she writes, alone. Can you advise me?
I'm lost in it, my lady. But let her come. It warms the very sickness in my heart, that I may live and tell her to her teeth, thus didst thou.
It should be so, Laertes. Well, how should it be so? How otherwise? Will you be ruled by me?
Aye, my lady. Say you not all rule me to a peace.
To thine own peace. If she be now returned, I will work her to an exploit now ripe in my device, under the which she cannot choose but fall. And for her death, even her no wind of blame will breathe, so that even her father will uncharge the practice and call it accident.
My lady, I will be ruled. The rather, if you could devise it so, that I might be the organ.
All's right. Laertes, was your mother dear to you? Or are you like the painting of a sorrow, face without a heart?
Why ask you this?
Not that I think you did not love your mother, but that I know love is begun by time, and time qualifies the very spark and fire of it. For there is within the very flame of love a kind of wick or snuff that abates it, and then nothing is as a like goodness still. For goodness, growing in its own plurality, dies in its own too much. And that we would do, we should do when we would. For this wood changes, and hath abatements and delays, as many as there are tongues, are hands, are accidents. And then the should is like a spendthrift sigh that hurts with easy, but to the quick of the ulcer. What would you undertake to prove yourself your mother's son indeed more than in words?
To cut her throat in the church.
Revenge should have no bounds. But Laertes, would you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet returned shall know you are come home, and will put on those shall praise your excellence, and wager on your head. She, being remiss, most generous and free from all contrivance, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease, or with a little juggling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a pass of practice requite her for your mother.
I will do it, and for that purpose, I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank so mortal, but the dip of coil in it, no cataplasm so rare, can save the thing from death that has been scratched withal. I'll touch my point to this contagion, that if I gall her slightly, it may be death.
Think further on this. If this should fail, and our drift look through our bad performance, it were better not to say. Let me see. I have it. When in your motion you are hot and dry, and she calls for drink, I'll have prepared her a chalice for the nonce, whereon but sipping, if she by chance escape your venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. How now, sweet king?
One woe doth tread upon another's heels, so fast they follow. Your sister is drowned, Laertes.
Drowned!
Drowned! Drowned.
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. But yet, it is our trick. Nature her custom holds. Let shame say what it will, when these are gone, the woman will be out. Adieu, my lord. I've a speech of fire that fain would blaze, but if this folly doubts it.
Follow my lord. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now I fear this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow.
I did love me, thought it was very sweet. To pass out the time on my behalf, I fought with nothing me.
Oh, no feeling of his business that he sings of grave making.
Custom hath made it in her a habit of easiness.
'Tis even so, the hands of little employment hath the daintier sense.
But aged is stealing steps to claw me in its touch, and it tripped me out into the land of the fire, had never been such.
That skull had a tongue in it and can sing one. How the knave jowls it to the ground as if it were Cain's jawbone that did the first murder.
Pickaxe and a spade for run, a shot and sheep. Pit a play for to be made, for such an end as meet.
There's another. Why may not that be the skull of a lawyer? Where be his quiddities now, his quillets, his cases, his tenures, and his tricks? Why does he suffer this rude name to knock him about the sconce with a dirty shovel, and will not tell him of his action of battery? I will speak to this fellow. Whose grave is this, sirrah?
Mine, sir.
It does, I think it be thine, for thou liest in it.
Well, thou liest not in it, and therefore 'tis not thine. For my part, I do not lie in it, and yet it is mine.
Thou dost lie in it to be in it, and say it is thine. Who is to be buried in it? What man is to be buried in it?
No man, sir.
What woman, then?
None either.
Who is to be buried in it?
One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she is dead.
How long hast thou been a grave maker?
All the days of the year. I came to it the night young Hamlet was born. She that is mad and is sent to England.
Ah, Mary, why was she sent into England?
Because she was mad. She'll recover her wits there. Or if she do not, 'tis no matter there.
Why?
But she'll not be seen in her there. There the women are as bad as she.
How long must a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Oh. Sir, he be not rotten before he died. He will last some 8 year, 9 year. Take this skull here, sir. This skull has laid in the ground 23 years.
All right, well, whose was it?
A mad rogue. Does thou not know who it is?
Nay, I know not.
Pestilence on him for a mad rogue. This skull, sir, was Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
This?
Even that.
Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his shoulders 1,000 times, and now how abhorred in my imagination it is. And here hung those lips which I have kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now, your gambols, your songs, your they were once to set the table on a roar. Not one now to mock your own grinnings. Now get thee to my lady's chamber, and make her paint an inch thick. To this favor she must come, and make her laugh at that. I pray thee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lady?
Dost thou think Alexander looked of this fashion in the air?
Even so.
Oh, it smelt so.
Even so, my lady.
To what base matters we must return, Horatio. But stop. Here comes the queen. Queen, the courtiers, who is this they follow, and with such maimed rites? This doth betoken the course they follow did with desperate hand fordo its own life. Some of state, couch me a while and mark.
What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been far enlarged as we have warrantized. Her death was doubtful, and with the great command that oversways the order that she should in ground unsanctified have lodged until the last trumpet.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done.
Lay her in the earth. And from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be while thou liest howling.
What, the fair Ophelia?
Sweet to the sweet. Farewell.
Hold up your earth a while, till I have caught her once more to mine arms. Now pile your dust upon the quick content, till of this flat a mountain you have made.
What? Is he whose grief bears such an emphasis? This is I, Hamlet the Dane!
The devil take thy soul!
Ah, my lady!
Hamlet!
Hamlet! No, wow!
Hamlet!
Oh,
My lady!
I will
Be quiet!
I will fight with him upon this theme until my eyelids will no longer wag. I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not with all their quantity of love make up my sum. What wouldst thou do first? Swoons, show me what thou do. Would weep, would fight, would fast, would tear thyself, I'll do it. I'll do it, be buried quick with her, and so will I.
She's mad, Laertes, for the love of God forbear her.
Hear you, sir. What is the reason you bear me thus? I loved you ever! But it is no matter. The cat will mew and dog will have his day.
Pray you good Horatio wait upon her.
With your patience in our last night's speech, we'll put the matter to the present push.
Sir, our indiscretion sometimes serves us well when our deep plots do pall. And that should teach us there's a divinity that shapes our ends, rough hew them how we will. Wilt thou hear me how I did proceed? Here's the commission. I sat me down, devised a new commission, wrote it fair. Wilt thou know the effect of what I wrote?
Aye, good, my lady.
An earnest conjuration from the king, as England was his faithful tributary, that on the view and knowing of these contents he should, more or less, put the bearers to sudden death, no shriving time allowed.
So Rosencrantz and Guildenstern go to it.
Not near my conscience. But to Laertes, I'm very sorry, good Horatio, that to Laertes I did forget myself. I will court his favors, but
Peace. Who comes here?
My lady, welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you. Dost know this waterfly?
No, my good lady.
My lady, if your ladyship be at her leisure, I should impart a thing to you from Her Majesty.
I will receive it with all diligence of spirit. Put your bonnet to his right use, 'tis for the head.
Thank you, lady. It is too hot.
Oh, no, believe me, it is very cold. Oh, the wind is northerly.
It is indifferent cold, my lady, indeed.
Oh, but methinks it is very sultry and hot for my complexion.
Sultry, my lady. As it were. I do not know why. But my lady, her ladyship wants me to tell you that she hath laid a great wager upon your head. This is the
I do
matter.
beseech you.
Remember, very good, my lady. For my knees, in good faith. Here is newly come to court Laertes, who, believe me, a perfect gentleman, full of excellent differences of of soft society and great showing.
Your concern and see, sir, why do we wrap the gentleman in our more rawer breath?
My lady?
Is it not possible to understand in another tongue?
What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
There.
Her purse is empty already. All her golden words are spent.
Of him, sir!
You must not be ignorant of what...
Oh, I wish you did! But in faith, if you did, it would not much prove me. Well,
You are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is.
oh! I dare not confess that, lest I should compare with him in excellence.
I mean, sir, his weapon.
Oh, what is his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
Oh, those are but two of his weapons.
The queen hath laid that. If it doesn't pass us between yourself and him, you should not exceed 3 hits. Be it laid on 12 or 9, here becomes to immediate trial if your ladyship would vouchsafe the answer.
What if I answer no?
I mean, your ladyship in trial.
I shall walk in the hall, if it please her majesty, for it is now the breathing time of day with me. Have the foils brought, the men willing, and the queen to her purpose. I shall win for her if I can. If I cannot, I shall gain nothing but my shame in the odd hits.
Shall I redeliver you even so?
To this effect, after what flourish your nature will.
My duty to your ladyship.
Yours. It is well to commend it herself. There's no other else. Tongues for turn!
You will lose this wager, my lady.
I think not. Since he went into France, I have been in continual practice. I shall win at the odds.
Nay, good, my lady.
But you would not believe how ills I'll hear about my heart.
If your mind dislike any one thing, obey it. I'll forestall their repair hither and say you are not fit.
Not a whit. We defy augury. There is a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it is not to come, it will be now. If it is not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all.
Come, Hamlet, come and take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon, sir. But pardon it, for I have done you wrong. But pardon it as you are a gentleman. This presence knows, and you must needs have heard how I am punished with sore distraction. What I have done, I here proclaim, was madness. Sir, in this audience, let my disclaiming from a purposed evil free me so far in your most gracious thoughts that I have shot mine arrow o'er the house and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied in nature, whose motive in this case should serve me most to my revenge. But until that time, I receive thy offered love like love, and will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely, and will this wager frankly play. Come,
Come, one for me.
Laertes, I shall be your foil, for my ignorance shall make your skill stick fiery off indeed, like the star in the darkest night.
You mock me, lady.
Bind his hand.
Hamlet, you know the wager.
Aye, my lady, your honor hath laid the odds on the weaker side.
I do not fear it. I have seen you both, but since he is bettered, we have therefore odds.
This is too heavy. Let me see another.
This suits me well. These foils have all a length.
Yes, my good lady.
The suits of wine upon the table. The queen shall drink to Hamlet's better breath. If Hamlet make the first or second hit, or quit in answer of the third exchange, the queen shall drink to Hamlet's health, and in the cup an union shall she throw, richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have worn. Come, begin, and you, the judge, bear a wary eye.
Come, sir.
my lady.
A hit!
No!
Judgment!
A hit. A very palpable hit.
Well again!
Stay! Give me the drink. Hamlet! This pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give her drink.
Hold it by a while. I'll play this bout first. Another hit! What say you?
A touch, I do confess.
Our daughter shall win! Here, Hamlet, take my napkin. Rub thy brows. The king carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
My lady, do not drink.
I will, my lady, I pray you, pardon me.
It is the poison cup. It is too late.
Come. Let me wipe thy face.
My lady, I'll hit her now.
I do not think it.
And yet, 'tis almost against my conscience.
Come for the third Laertes, you but dally. Come with your best violence. I'm afeard you make a wanton of me.
Say you so. Come on.
Nothing neither way.
I bet you now.
Pardon, they are incensed!
We bleed on both sides. How is it, my lady?
How is Laertes?
I am justly killed by my own treachery.
Look to the king their home!
How does the king?
He swoons to see them bleed!
No! No, the drink! The drink! My dear Hamlet's drink! I'm poisoned!
Oh, villainy! Lock the doors, treachery! Seek it out!
It is here, Hamlet! 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 Thou art slain. In thee, there's not half an hour of life. No medicine in the world can do thee good. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed. The foul practice hath turned itself on me. And lo, here I lie, never to rise again. Thy fathers poisoned. I can no more. The queen's to blame.
Point envenomed, well venom to thy work!
No! Oh! 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 Defend me! Yet, friends, I am but hurt!
Murderous, incestuous damn Dane, drink off this poison! Follow my father!
She is justly served. It is a poison tempered by herself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my mother's death fall not on thee, nor thine on me.
Heaven make thee free of it. I follow thee. I am dead, Horatio. You that look pale and tremble at this chance, that are but mute and audience to this act, had I time. But this foul surgeon Death is strict in his arrest. Oh, I could tell you, but let it be. Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest, report.
in my act to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. Here's yet some liquor left.
And so I do, woman, no! Goodrich, what a wounded name. Things standing thus unknown shall live behind me. If thou dost e'er hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world to draw a breath to tell my story. Oh, I die. The potent potion quite overcrowds my spirit. The rest is silence.
Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet princess. May flights of angels sing thee to thy rest.